Welcome back to the Talk at Elevation, where we elevate stories of purpose, leadership, and reinvention. Today, we're joined by Leigh Steinberg, legendary sports agent, real life inspiration for Jerry Maguire, and proud coach for Fan Day Nation. Leigh has spent decades building athletes into leaders, negotiating over $4 billion in contracts, and using sports as a platform for meaningful impact on and off the field. His new book, The Comeback, releases March 3rd, which shares his powerful journey of resilience, reinvention, and redefining success after life's biggest setbacks. Leigh, welcome to the Talk at Elevation.
Thank you. Happy to be with you.
All right, but first, let's hear from our sponsors.
Out of 10,000 high school athletes, fewer than 1% ever go pro. Talent alone is not enough. Visibility matters. Fan Day Nation helps athletes and coaches get seen, heard, and remembered through professional content, exposure, and storytelling, because everyone deserves to be seen. Learn more at fandaynation.com.
Every great love has its moments, the highs, the grind, the comeback. This Valentine's Day, celebrate yours with Nico Stones, bold jewelry that shows up for game day, date night, and forever moments in between. Real love isn't flashy, it's present, intentional, and seen. Shop Valentine's Day at nicostones.com.
All right. Well, Leigh, again, thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to jump right into it. So, obviously, you've written multiple books before The Comeback, but let's talk about this book right now. What inspired you to write it, and why is it the right time to tell this story?
We all in life have setbacks and situations where our dreams are frustrated and we may have a collapse in relationships or financial, or it could be health, could be addiction. And so the question is not whether or not that's going to happen at some time, it's how you respond to it. And can you, in the worst of circumstances, find resilience and hope and game plan a way to effectively get back with your life? So I struggled with alcohol, and in 2010, I broke denial. I went to a organization that has a 12-step program and gradually worked my way back. So this book tells my story, but it also tells the story of players like Patrick Mahomes and Steve Young and Troy Aikman, and reverses that happened in their life and how they overcame them. So it's trying to give people inspiration plus very practical steps about how to come back.
That's awesome. That had to take, incredible amount of honesty to write that book. What part of the journey was really the hardest for you to put on page?
Um, the fact that I had allowed myself to become dependent on alcohol, and that my best thought was at some points 15 years ago was, where can I find more vodka? So it's painful to think of that, but I made a decision to be public about my struggle with alcohol in the hope that people who are out there still struggling, still confused, still despondent, um, can give them inspiration, hope, and guidance about the route back.
That's me.
Yeah. That's really cool, especially so many people just struggle with addiction,
Too.
alcoholism, and it's hard for them to admit it. So hopefully this book helps them come through with that and come on their own terms as
Yeah, with
well.
you being able to be as transparent as you have been with the media and about your story, the since the get go.
Yeah.
I think that will really help out a lot of people.
Yeah, especially talking about just people that are famous as well. When they see, oh, famous people struggle too, like just like I do. So it's really an inspiration. What do you want readers to immediately get out of this book when they read it for the first time?
That that the struggles that people face are, no matter how much careful planning that they do, no matter how they think the structure of their life is advantageous, that reverses can happen. And so the question is not whether they'll happen, is what do you do when they do happen? And so we've laid out a specific game plan for those concepts, whether it's self discipline, structure, help, in which someone can relate to their own problems and figure out ways to be more successful in getting back to their true purpose.
So in this book, you share those professional as well as personal failures you've went through. We talked about it a little before, but why is honesty so important? And what do you think people, struggle with when they're talking about their past traumas or what they've kind of been through?
Because the nature of any addiction, or it can be someone struggling financially or someone struggling in relationships or marriage, um, there's the concept of denial that in these situations, I don't have a problem. Someone else may have a problem. And it's being able to break denial and be able to take an honest and realistic look at yourself. And they say that alcohol is the disease that tells you don't have a problem because you're often with haze. And so, uh, I've spent 52 years representing professional athletes and had a very charmed life. I'd done 64 first round draft picks in football and the very first pick in the draft 8 times. And 12 of the players I work with are in the Hall of Fame. In football, I did baseball and basketball also. Um, so most of my life was completely charmed. And when I hit a bump, it was like hard to see the reality that I was struggling.
Especially when you're living that, that fat, flashy life and right, all these top headline people, that's gotta make it hard.
There's so much going on, such a fast-paced environment.
Yes.
Uh, yes. And everyone is going through some kind of struggle, whether, like you said, financial, addiction, whatever it is, everyone's struggling with something.
For sure.
For readers that have their own setbacks, what is the first step your book encourages them to take?
To break denial and realize that you have a problem, and to realistically look at your life and think how far you've fallen short of your dreams, and to then put together a concrete plan, which takes self discipline, it takes structure, it takes outside help. And I have been part of a unique fellowship that's very supportive. And so the key is you probably can't do this on your own, and you probably need help from in addiction. It's called a sponsor. In real life, it may be a family member or someone that can help. And the other point is to find a higher power. That's find some spiritual concept of a higher power who might have a plan for you, and understand that there's a benign presence and you don't have to do this all by yourself.
Yeah, and it's hard to ask for help too. So
Oh,
props to you for doing that. I mean, we've talked a lot about the book and what we want the readers to gain from this. What is your favorite part about this story, Lee?
Um, the fact that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So the last part of the book is about projects that I'm working on now. It's about a television show that puts quarterbacks in competition against each other. It's about a
cool.
health and wellness breakthroughs that have occurred, like hyperbaric oxygen, stem cells, and the rest of it. It's the new concussion foundation I put together because I've been fighting this battle for 35 years to make football safer. And so to show people that there's life at the end of the tunnel. It's representing players like Patrick Mahomes and getting back to where I originally was at. So the point is, the whole concept of there being a better reality in life at the end of the tunnel, we spend the last couple chapters talking about what I'm doing now, and hopefully that will give people a sense that however they define their own priorities and goals, they can achieve them.
Exactly. And have that comeback, right?
Yes.
The comeback.
How long did it take you to write this book?
About a year and a half. The real comeback in my life, honestly, was my dad raised me with two core values: treasure relationships, especially family, and try to make a meaningful difference in the world and help people who can't help themselves. Be the person that addresses societal problems. I wasn't doing either of them. So the point is to have uh, my family, a fiance, a good relationships with the kids, and to be out there trying to put programs together that fight against climate change or sex trafficking or domestic violence. My dad used to say, when you're looking for someone to make a change in life, someone, it could be as small as picking up a piece of trash or as big as fighting racism and climate change. And there's a tendency to wait for they or them to fix a problem, older people, political figures. And he would say, if you're waiting for they or them, the amorphous they or them, you could wait forever. The they is you, son. You are the they. So it's sense of empowerment that we all, in our own way, in our own time, can make a meaningful difference in the world.
Yeah, because how do you expect anything to happen if you're not doing anything about it?
Exactly.
No.
Making that first step. That's awesome. Leigh, when readers finish the comeback, how do you hope they look at failure differently?
I think that they'll get the perspective that it's the nature of life in a complex modern society that reverses might happen. So instead of feeling like a complete isolated failure, the point is to reach out at that point for help. And so um, it's sort of like the concept of change, which is inevitable. I mean, we've seen in sports, NILs and gambling and conference realignment, and the change occurs rapidly. So it's dealing with those circumstances and taking a calculated look at the best way to come back.
There we go.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We have one more question for you, and it is, what does being seen mean to you?
Um, I think profiles important. Um, because it gives you the power to inspire people and to visualize a better world, a more ideal world, and to get there. Other than that, it's not like you're going into the next phase of life or death, where newspaper clippings and interviews and everything have lasting value. But if you can reach people because of being seen and having a profile, then it's much more fulfilling.
Yeah.
And is there anything to our watchers right now you would like to say about the comeback? No, it's coming out in the next few months. Anything you want to promote in that way?
You can pre-order it now at Amazon or Barnes and Noble. So from now until March 3rd, if you're interested, go ahead and pre-order it, and then we'll talk about it at my big Super Bowl party in San Francisco.
Well,
And which is my 39th, and a daytime party which is cause oriented, and we give humanitarian awards and other things. And but if you're interested, and you're out there, I wrote this book for you, to help you enhance your life and live with more purpose and meaning.
well, amazing. I bet a lot of people will get a lot out of this book.
Yeah, I know for one, I'm excited.
Myself
to
included. Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Lee. Everything you've talked about today has been so inspirational. And, having someone with so much experience in the sport world and, not even sports in like professional world life. Like you've been through the gritty, you've been through it all, and you've come out on top. So, Lee, thank you for sharing your story in the heart behind the comeback. Just for everyone again, the book releases on Amazon on March 3rd. This is a must read for anyone navigating change, challenge, or second chances. This has been the Talk at Elevation. Thank you.
Thanks.